What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Sly Jordy, and welcome back to Need for Speed Heat 5 years later. I can't believe it's already been 5 years since Need for Speed Heat dropped. You guys know how big of a game this was, not only for the Need for Speed in general, but also for my channel. Like, it's a very personal game, very special game, and has a very special place in my heart. And it's just good to be back. I don't miss these long-ass loading screens, though, not going to lie. But, oh, man, look at this scenery. This was one of the best main menus, the best, like, title screens that they'd ever done. It's checking my inventory. I should still have my old account. Yes, I do.
Chat is enabled when you are in a party. Press the right stick to form a party.
Whew, the accessibility voice is so nostalgic. Man, I remember all the way back in August 2019 when this game was revealed. We had the Gamescom demo, everybody was playing it, and we were so hype. The police looked amazing, the graphics looked amazing, the car customization looked amazing. It was just amazing across the board. I was so hyped for this game. I think me and my friend TJ, we were playing Need for Speed 2015 non-stop in the lead up to this game. We were so excited. And obviously, if you guys have been around the channel for a while now, you know me and TJ did so many videos, literally hundreds of videos together on Need for Speed Heat. I wish I could have got him on this video today, but who knows, maybe I'll get him on a video soon. We do have a Christmas special plan in the works, so maybe we could get a special episode of Need for Speed Heat out at the same time. Now, I'm going to see if I can play online. Obviously, I'm on my old PlayStation account. Hopefully, I should be able to get on, and I am. There we go. I was thinking, you know, with PlayStation Plus, I might not be able to get into a game since I don't have PS Plus on this account anymore, but my new account does, so you know, I game share between the two accounts, so that's good. I am actually so excited to get back into this. Oh my god. These loading screens are not it. And this was the last game that they did on the PS4 as well. This was released like the year before the PS5 came out. So, you know, I think it's such a shame that we never actually got a full-blown PS5 update for this. Hot Pursuit Remastered got it. He would have looked amazing in 60 FPS. It's going to be a bit jarring to play in 30 FPS again, to be fair. The only racing games I've been playing recently is the F1 games, and then obviously more relevant to this, the Crew Motorfest, which I play at 60 FPS. So playing at 30 again, it's going to be a bit jarring, but here we go. Ownership updated, black market delivery ownership lost. Oh, it took my black market delivery away. Yeah, and the deluxe edition, because I don't have them installed. What am I doing? I should have installed them before going into this video, as you're no longer owning the pre-order edition. Oh no. Okay.
So
I'm gonna have to.
Get your own place?
Don't listen to him. Oh man, I remember this. Okay, so I'll have to be back in a second. I need to reinstall all my editions. Well, here we go. We're getting the KS edition cars. These were like deluxe editions, so all cars unlocked. I think they actually just took them off me regardless for actually like daring to even load into the game. But look at how many cars I had. I had 130. Oh no, I didn't take all my cars off me. It just gave me them back. Okay, that's awesome. Something that Heat has over Unbound instantly is you can get these Legends Edition cars for free in game. Well, you don't get them for free, but as in like you don't have to pay extra to get them, whereas in Unbound they're like part of a pack, which I never liked. But man, look at some of these cars. Some of the wraps won't load, but man, oh mate, I remember the black market DLC. This car looked amazing. So this was a KS edition body kit. We got special body kits in the game as well. 130 cars. I don't even have all the cars in the game. There are some cars that are missing that I don't have, but man, I tried to get every car possible. Tried to do a video on at least every single car. It's just so dope. And of course, this game also had obviously the hero car, hero car, even though the guy who drove it was a bit of a wuss if you played the story. But he was on, I mean, this car was on the front cover. This is a legendary car. Still very disappointing that we weren't able to actually access this body kit on the normal Polestar. That was always disappointing to me. I think this is what I ended up doing with my own thing. God, look at the paint details. I think this was the first. This was the first game that we had like different kinds of paint details, so you could have like carbon paint if you really wanted to. It was really, really awesome. The RSR was still OP in this game, and so I put a bit of a Joker wrap onto it because I thought everybody who uses this is a clown. I was a bit toxic with the license plate, loser as well. Oh man. I just loved some of these cars, and of course, this had the return of the M3 GTR. I mean, technically, it was also in Need for Speed 2015 as well, but it was only the body kit. In this game, they actually really tried, of course, not only the license plate, but they tried to actually fully, properly remake the M3 GTR. It wasn't just the GTR body kit for the E46. No, they actually fully tried to recreate the M3 GTR. So I think we're definitely going to drive that today, that's for sure. Oh man, the Cayman GT4, one of the bad things that this game did was actually remove customization for certain cars that you unlocked from doing all the speed traps, the drift zones and stuff. So some of those casualties being the M4 GTS from Payback and the GT4. Cayman GT4 from Need for Speed 2015, which had a body kit in that game, it had a body kit in Payback, but it didn't have one in this game for some reason. They just took them all off, and they put them on the new Cayman GTS, which is right here. I thought the front of it kind of reminded me of a frog a little bit, so I made it green and put the license plate as frog. But man, going into this game, I actually put like, oh mate, look at this 350C. I think I put actually, like, the PS5 tells me that I put 758 hours into this game, which is insane. Absolutely insane. The wrap's not loading on this car, but it does remind me of something. If we go onto our menu, oh, the menu was so... This menu is clean. The garage itself is so clean, and we've got some really, really relaxing music as well. But yeah, let me have a look. Go to social, and we'll go on to the crew right here. We got people in the crew that are still playing. Shout out to Pile Many. Big shout out to you if you watch the channel. But man, look at this. So shout out to everybody that is still part of the crew and still playing, of course, but a lot of these guys haven't played in a couple of years. But to be fair, actually, no, a lot of these guys are still playing now, and I think that just goes to show just how good Heat was, because people are still playing this game. So what's in the request? We've got people who are trying to get into the crew. Hell yeah, you could join. There we go. So those guys are now in. We got 29 members, and obviously I had this thing where I did make everybody a recruiter at one point, but you know, after I stopped playing the game, I stopped doing that. So everybody that has been on the crew since 2022 is a recruiter, apart from this guy apparently, and this guy here. I think I made some people recruiters, but a lot of these people, I mean, look at TJ, he's been in the crew since like the 17th of November 2019, which was when I think we hopped onto the multiplayer for the first time, because I like to do the story modes first. But man, this is really, really cool. So the best thing about the garage, in my opinion, was the showcase as well. You actually got to have a look at other people's cars. So shout out to Pile Many again, whoever you are. It's a nice Evo 9, an off-road Evo 9. He was the last game that had proper off-roading events. I wonder if TJ's around here. He is not, because he's not played in a while, so obviously he wouldn't be here. But let's toggle it. Let's put on my garage, and look at this. We've got the Cayman GT4, of course. We've got the Battle Machine RX-7 for Pro Street. All right. We got the RSR. Oh, mate, the COVID ZR1. So this was from one of my special quarantine videos. I mean, we did a lot of Need for Speed Heat videos during the quarantine because obviously I had nothing better to do. So we just played Need for Speed Heat and Red Dead Online for the whole time. And this was one of my favorite episodes that we did during that time. That's for sure. Of course, that's the PlayStation exclusive version of the Evo X. You guys on Xbox got I think it was gold for you instead of blue, because it would have been weird to have it green because the other Chaos Edition was already green, whatever. We got the McLaren F1, which is from the other Black Market update, and it's got the high toxicity livery all over it, and this actually ended up, unfortunately, becoming one of the best cars in the game, arguably the best, so it was kind of pay to win. And then, of course, we have the DB11 Volante from the other Black Market update, but, yeah, we're going to swap car. I want to get into a particular car that I made for this game. The Murcielago that I had. This had a police livery on it because Hot Pursuit Remastered was just coming out at the time. Where is it? Here it is. This is my Skyline R34 custom-made livery as well. I spent a long time on this. He was the last game that I spent a long time on liveries. I didn't really do it for Unbound when I played it. You know, Unbound, it was an alright game, but Heat was just way, way, way better. Man, look at all of the stickers that I had on it as well. I was really proud of this car. And then, of course, we've got all these, like, Ultimate Plus parts as well. Elite, Super. I think the car started at Super, Super Plus. But, yeah, we had all these different parts for each different suspensions. I really liked the Showcase one because the Showcase was a mix of drift and on-road handling, which made this car extremely fun to use. And then, of course, we had the repair kits, we had the nitrous drift, and leading into that, of course, this was the first game that had the day and night cycle. It was huge. This was the most revolutionary Need for Speed game since Most Wanted. I think, or Carbon, I guess, or Pro Street, really. Pro Street was the first the last drastically different Need for Speed game. Of course, we had the Run as well, but I wouldn't call that revolutionary because the Run didn't do so well sales-wise. But man, he was a breath of fresh air. Of course, 2015 was for the OGs. That was such a good game. And then Payback, I still want to know who thought it was a good idea to make a game like Payback. But Heat was really a return to form, and it showed in sales, the amount of people playing at launch. I think Heat has had the most people playing at launch since the golden era of Underground Most Wanted Carbon, you know? And that just goes to show how big Need for Speed Heat was. So, first things first, we're going to jump into the day and we're going to get into driving Palm City. This loading screen, this transition was awesome. I really didn't mind long loading screens I really didn't mind having the loading screens in general in Need for Speed Heat because the loading screens were this. Unbound went back to like the whole picture as you were loading in like Payback had. And I didn't like that. You know, I feel like they should have done what Heat did, but man, here we are. Oh man. And of course it always said new events available as you walked out, as you got out the garage, but that was never the case. But man, listen to the exhaust pop in. And then speaking of the exhaust, you were able to customize how the car sounded. It was really, really, really cool. We're going to get into the action camera, of course. And we got a person driving past right there. I actually want to see... Yeah, we still got full lobbies. Of course, this was also the first Need for Speed game that had crossplay. So, yeah, we still have full lobbies. It's still immensely populated. And I think a lot of these people were disappointed in Unbound and went back to Heat. And for me, the main reason is this. You were able to do all of these events, all of the events in the single player, everything that you did in the single player was able to carry over to the multiplayer. So after I'd finished the main story, after TJ had finished the main story, we were immediately able to hop onto the game together and play with our cars that we made while playing alone. And that, for me, was the kill shot that killed Unbound before it ever really had a chance. Because they separated single player and the multiplayer. And yeah, I've never played the multiplayer of Unbound to this day, and I never will. I'm not going back to that game. you know, I don't really see the point, especially when Heat is a very similar game in terms of car lists and stuff. And I like the map better in this one as well. This map was insane. This was the most open Need for Speed map that we ever had as well. Like, you could go from here directly across the map. You didn't have to take any of these roads. You could completely go off-road. It was so fun. And honestly, I think the only bad thing about this game was that they didn't support it in the long run. They cancelled it very quickly. Criterion moved on to do Battlefield and then obviously Unbound. And I feel like Heat could have had a lot more updates. They could have put everything on in Unbound that they've been added in for the past year. They could have started doing all the way back here, you know? Don't think I'm not still bitter about how Heat turned out, especially when we got Unbound, which is, as a matter of fact, an inferior game. But man, we need to drive into Palm City right now. It is so nostalgic. Of course, Palm City was based in Miami, and I mean, look at that. The view of that then. Absolutely amazing. I've not played a Need for Speed game in a few months, by the way, but man, I remember going into this city for the first time. The amount of times like we'd always go straight into the city. We had some like train track stuff, like you could get on top of there's the train tracks, that coloured thing right there. You could get on top of that, and it of course goes through the whole city. You could get on top of a building with it. It was pretty cool, to be honest. We had a time trial mode where you had to go on that as well. But man, we have to get on this little ramp thing here. I don't really know what to call it. It's a bridge, if anything. This was so cool to go through, and then obviously you were able to always go round all the cars here. And I mean, look at the sense of speed. That is insane, especially with the action camera as well. Absolutely insane, honestly. So if we go this way, this was one of my favorite areas. We just spin the car around right here. The handling model was awesome as well, compared to 2015 especially, and Payback. But I mean, look at the camera shake. Of course, I've got camera shake all the way to the maximum. So it's strange to me because there was a time in my life where I absolutely hated camera shake and always switched it off. And man, that's crazy because I play F1 games now, the modern F1 games, and I don't think they have enough camera shake. And I mean, look at this. Look at the sense of speed, the blur. This is amazing. Honestly, it doesn't really feel like I'm playing 30 FPS. This is so... like, the frames are so well optimized on this game. It doesn't exactly feel like I'm playing 30 FPS. But obviously in other areas the game isn't well optimized. Physics were all over the place. It was absolutely crazy. But I think without further ado, we should actually get on to one of the events that we always did, and that was Sonic. So let's drive towards that. Oh mate, this was one of mine and TJ's favorite chill out spots, and this was honestly one of the cutscenes as well. One of the cutscenes was based here, Lil Chickies. This was one of the best looking maps in a racing game, period. I got so many screenshots from this game. If you guys go to check out my Instagram at SlyJordy and you scroll down far enough to about 2020, there is so much, so much. And of course we had these gas stations. They really went hard on the Miami vibe as well. It's just a beautiful map, honestly. Unbound, it's alright, but it lacks a lot of character, you know? Unbound, it is a bigger game, and, you know, in a lot of ways it is a better game, but that's just in the fundamentals, you know? And the fundamentals, if the fundamentals are alright to start with, then what really matters to me is like the character of the game, the aesthetic. You know, that's why Carbon is my favourite Need for Speed, you know? And in terms of how the story is set out as well, Heat was very open. You could play through the story with your friends. You couldn't do the exclusive story events with your friends, but there were only like, I think 10 or so. There wasn't that many. A lot of the story was actually spent building up your cash, building up your rent. Building up your rep. And you were able to do that with friends. It was honestly so accessible, so replayable, and that's why I have 758 hours in the game, you know? It's a lot of hours. Here we go then, let's go. Should we challenge all? I mean, this is one of the most played events in the game, of course, Sonic is. Of course, another one of them, one of my favorites, was the one down here, Ray of Light. Ray of Light was a really, really cool one as well. But we're going to play some Sonic. I don't think anybody's going to join, so we're going to withdraw on that. And we are just going to start it on our own. Let's go. And then after that, we're going to hop into the night. We'll do an event in the night. And then, yeah, we'll see if that starts a police chase or whatever. But man, I've really missed this game. I've really missed this game. I don't care how long this video turns out. We are really going to just pay homage to this game and just enjoy ourselves. Alright? I'll put this as a premiere live as well. Oh man. 5 years. That's crazy. I feel a bit old now. But here we go. Oh, mate. Some of these AI vehicles are really nostalgic as well. He's not here right now, but... Wheeler. That was his name. Wheeler in the white skyline was in the trailer for the game. And obviously on the title screen. But he was one of the worst AIs ever. And oh my god, you can tell I've not played this in a while. You can tell some of the AI's not well optimized neither. You know, of course it wasn't the best optimized game, but the fact of the matter is the foundation was so good that you could kind of shrug it off, you know? And as well optimized as Unbound is, that's why people still like Heat over Unbound, because Heat had a lot more character in it. It clearly had, it felt like it had a lot more heart in it, you know? But obviously this action camera is not going to be helping me, so obviously I put it on the far cam when I get competitive. And I think actually this was the first game, if I whip up live tuning, yes, drift style gas. So I was trying to do brake to drift there when I don't need to. We could just, you know, let go of the gas for a second and then press it again, and it would immediately get you into a drift. So it actually made grip cars a lot easier. And that was another thing, you know, after 2 games in a row where grip was just not viable at all, Heat was actually a game that had some really good grip cars. You know, the brake to drift cars was still the most viable. They were still the best option, but grip was brought a lot closer, like a lot closer. I think my M3 GTR is actually grips to now that I think about it. But yeah, I think we'll get in that car when we go into the night. But man, just look at the way the screen kind of zooms out when you're going speedy as well. And then when you NOS, it zooms out even more. It's crazy. And like, if you look at the skybox, look at the sky and how it kind of zooms out. It's crazy how fast Need for Speed Heat felt, you know? Compared to games like 2015, as much as I love 2015, as much as Payback, Heat felt fast, like really quick. In a way that I don't even think Unbound was able to match this game in that aspect, funnily enough. But yeah, this was the race you played the most, and then it would reward you for playing with friends as well, or playing with anybody, because you would get like a bonus depending on where you were in like the rep level battle pass thing. Like it wasn't paid, it wasn't a paid pass, but it was clear that they were heading in that direction. I'll show you in a minute before we actually hop into the night time. But yeah, we're gonna go around the final corner for our day race here. And there we go, and I know that we go right into the wall at the end there as well for some reason, weirdly enough. But there you go, and then we had our little podium right here as well with our character. Of course, this was the first game where we had the character customization as well. And honestly, I preferred this one. I like what Unbound tried with its whole anime style thing, but if you're gonna go whole, like, all anime style with your characters, the world's gotta match it. And Lakeshore was set in Chicago, the most grey city imaginable. That's Gotham, pretty much. It just doesn't work, you know? I feel like Unbound's style of character customization, or just characters in general, would have worked a lot better in a place like this, Palm City, Miami. It's very colourful, and it would have blended in quite well. With Unbound, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. It really wasn't. I don't know why they thought about doing that. I mean, I kind of get what they were going for. Maybe like you were bringing colour to a grey city, but who cares? You know, like especially when you reach the end game and you finish the story, it's like, who cares at that point? Obviously, you want the best aesthetic, and Heat just was a really nice city to hang out in. So, without further ado, let's actually go ahead and change our car. We're going to go and change it into... Should we go with the M3 GTR or should I go with the Polestar? We could go with both. Oh, no, we can't. We can't change it in the night. So I could go with one of them. So what we're going to do, actually, we're going to get into the M3 GTR and we're going to drive that around for a bit. Because this was when they properly brought back the M3 GTR. Here we go. Listen to the sound of this. Oh, we got a ramp. Let's take the ramp. Wow, it just feels so fast. Like, I'm not just talking about the car, I'm talking about the whole game in general. Oh, mate, we got to get into the speedway. They finally added a racetrack. A racetrack is one of the things so many people are asking for every time a Need for Speed game drops. And I'm glad Unbound has one as well. I think this is becoming a staple. But, mate, oh, this was so awesome. We spent so much of our time here. Obviously, for me, the first place I would go to usually is straight into the city. But for a lot of other people, they would go straight into the raceway and immediately test the car speed. And then now you can tell that this is a grip car as well. This event here, I forgot what it was called. I tried to read what it was called as we were going past, but everybody did this event to test out the speed of the car. The resort circuit, that was what it was. And can we actually have a look at the times on this to really have a look how many times I did certain events? I think we can actually. Crew leaderboard, here we go. Look at the attempts that me and TJ had. TJ, 146 attempts at one event. Now this is what I'm talking about in terms of how replayable this game was. It was just so fun that you would want to make every single car in the game, test out its speed, and test out each and every engine swap with the car as well. I had 116 attempts on this one. He beat my car with a 488G. Well, I think this was a glitch, actually. I think it only counts the car you used the last time you did it. Because he definitely did not beat my RSR time in a 488 GTP. I think he'll say that for himself. He definitely used either the RSR, the F40, or the F1. You know? I did forget about that bug there. But speaking of engine swaps, we had a little part shop round here as well that we would go to. I mean, if you didn't do it in the garage, of course. I liked to do it at the part shop. It was always immersive to just head there. And I mean, look at this. We can swap the engine. So if we go to my owned engines and we go to this 2.9 litre V6. I know it's blasphemy that we're putting it in the M3 GTR, but listen to it. Now that's a Porsche engine, right? That just sounds wrong. It sounds completely wrong. But it was possible, and it was one of the best parts, best things that they added to the game, to the point that I think now it's a staple. The only thing wrong with this is you can't rev the engine anymore with this. Right, hopefully this is the one I had earlier. Yes, okay. There you go. We had all sorts of different NOS tanks as well, so you had the one big one, but the best one to use was always the multiple ones, because they would still give you the same amount of power, but it was obviously a lot more controllable. Really, really cool, man. God, I've missed this game. But I don't really have enough reason to go back to it because I've literally done everything, and that's why they make another game, you know? That's why it's good that they make other games, but Unbound just was not good enough, and so I'm just sat here waiting for the next one, an even bigger wait. And I'll probably play through this game again on the channel at some point. I do plan to play through 2015 again first before that happens, which we're going to kick off 2025 by doing that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the Polestar. Oh mate, they brought back the underground skyline as well, which was awesome, absolutely dope. The Volvo, I wanted to make that 400 plus. You could make some crazy builds in this game. Honestly, guys, this is the best racing game of the past 2 generations. You know, if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Like, he literally has everything you could want in a racing game. I mean, apart from, like, a competitive mode, but that really isn't what Need for Speed fans want, to be honest. Unbound has that. And that is the main part of the multiplayer, and I guarantee there's more people playing Heat as there is than there is Unbound. You know, I mean, look, full lobbies every time you get into Heat. It's crazy, but this was an amazing part. Going into the night, just like that, and it's such a cool transition. And here we are. Look at that, a completely different vibe, man. Here we are. And the soundtrack for the nighttime was absolutely incredible as well. I mean, I've left it on a little bit in the background, but not fully. Right, we need to do Discovery. A race all around the map. Let's go. But yeah, eventually you would spend most of your time in the day, obviously, as there was no point doing races in the night. Oh, I think this is a maxed out Polestar as well. And unfortunately... oh, wait. I am able to put a massive turbocharger in it, but I always keep the same one in because this is the turbo and the supercharger. It's a dual one because it's an electric car. And obviously, I don't want to take that out of the Polestar. I can do that, but then, you know, I wanted this car to feel like exactly how it felt at the beginning of the game. So we will probably get our ass kicked in Discovery, but it is what it is. Especially since I had the game difficulty on hard as well. I think I still have that. Let's have a look, shall we? I don't think I can change it. Well, I can, but there you go. Just the difficulty of opponent races and target scores in drift trials. Still got it on hard difficulty, baby. But I loved this game. I really loved it. And I knew every trick in the book. I was so good at this game. If you don't believe me, you could go and check out the old videos I did. I was nutty. If this game had a competitive mode, guarantee you I would have been, like, top rank. You know, if they did something like Payback did with its speed lists, where you had... Well... I know they had like a ranked thing going on, but I can't tell you exactly what it was. There's the cops as well. They won't be chasing me right now because my rep level is at 0, as I can tell by the top. But once we get into a race, that's when things are going to completely change. So here we go, Discovery, longest race in the game. Recommended 400. Oh mate, what do I do? You know what? Nah, I actually want to see if I can win this race. So we are going to put in... Oh, I don't even have a dual turbocharger. So we'd have to put in a screw supercharger or something like that. I mean, I could put in an elite turbocharger, and honestly, it isn't that much of a difference. This was one of my big issues with the game. Once you max the cars out, it became excruciatingly clear that the turbochargers and the dual turbochargers were more powerful than the superchargers. Maybe that's the case in real life, but in the game I would have liked there to be a difference between every car. But in every car, it was always the dual turbocharger that was the best. So you know what? I ain't going to do that. The centrifugal was absolutely awful. Awful in this game. The worst one. Which is why we're going to go for it and see if we can win the longest event in the game, which is all around the map. Let's go for it in the Polestar. Whew, let's do it. It's been really good getting back into this game, man. And obviously, since it's Discovery, we can go around the whole map and I'll be able to talk about each and every facet of the map that we pass. I knew this map by the back of my hand. I didn't even have to set waypoints anymore. for certain events, I definitely didn't have to. For certain events, I still did. But if TJ or somebody said they wanted to meet me at Edgewood Valley or Cloud Bank or Meadow Keys or whatever it was called. I think it was Mendoza Keys, something like that. Or Bayview Park, which we're heading into right now. I would know exactly where they were. Exactly where they were. Absolutely knew this map by the back of my hand. Oh, and there's the trouble with the physics. They really slow down on this corner, though. They really don't like that corner. Oh, is that rock and roll playing in the background? What a banger. Whoa! I'm rock and roll! Oh, man. What a banger. Murder music was awesome as well. If you guys know what I'm talking about with the soundtrack of this game, the nighttime soundtrack was absolutely top-notch. Absolutely top-notch. But clearly, I mean, look at Lena. Lena's in the Regera, Shaz is in the Pagani Huayra. You weren't beating those guys on hard difficulty without a maxed out car whatsoever. No matter how good you were at the game, it just wasn't going to happen. We could have tried it, but obviously I'm not here to win races. We're here for the experience today. But man, we're heading into now the big cliff version. The best part about Heat, anywhere that you looked, you could go. You know, it wasn't like Need for Speed 2015 or Most Wanted or Carbon or any of the older Need for Speed games where you would look somewhere and be like, hey, that place looks kind of cool. Why can't I go there? You know? But with Heat, anywhere you could go. Like, in most Need for Speed games, you see these railings, you won't be able to go through them. And, I mean, these ones you still can't. And you could be able to tell. But honestly, you could go that way, you could go through there. You could go behind these railings, basically, and you would still be able to work your way out of it. It's just in certain areas, there's just nothing behind them. There's no point in it. But, man, this car is dog. The Polestar is absolute dog. I think we had to change the... It was very similar to the DB11. The DB11 was really bad as well. But you would have to swap it out for, I think, the Nissan GTR engine to make it any good, you know. And the cop chase has started. There's the heat level up as well.
So tell the others to get ready for a shakedown.
Oh, we should keep going until we get the high heat events.
I want everyone to join in.
Yeah, we should definitely keep going until we get high heat events. That would be awesome. Which is exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, but look at that, Lena 1 mile away, and Shaz is about to be the same. Those two, nutty. They had the most OP cars in the game, and it showed. Lena, she'll be 2 miles away by the end of this race. Whoa!
Control, suspect spotted.
Mate, the police, they were so aggressive when the game first came out. And then people started whining about it, so they nerfed it. Like, why would you whine about it? After the really disappointing police that we had in 2015 and Payback, 2 games in a row, why would you complain? Heat's cops were great at launch, you know? They can still be pretty good now, but they were really heavily nerfed. Like, it was crazy how bad they were nerfed. It's to the point that we did one video, a 5-hour-long video, and it only took until I was like right at 10 million rep, because we were trying to go for 10 million rep in that video. It took me 5 hours, and it only took me right until the end to actually to feel in any sort of trouble from the police. It was crazy. But yeah, this definitely wasn't the best car to go with. We're getting into Port Murphy now, and this was obviously the port of Palm City, which was pretty cool. A really nice area. I mean, you could look at some of the artwork on some of the buildings. There was so much love put into this game. Oh, this was also the scene for one of the most legendary events. Shout out to Straight Up Hippo for the Rare Bear event. That's how he would always test grip cars, or how quick a car was, and he would have a little Top Gear style leaderboard for how quick some of the cars were. and he got a lot of views on that series. And then of course Black Panther as well went absolutely nutty on this game. I actually forgot it was the 10-year anniversary of the game today. Like, I had the game installed ready, but I forgot it was today. You know, I woke up today, saw it was November 8th, didn't realise until Black Panther uploaded his video. I haven't watched it yet, you know. I saw the notification on my phone and then I was like, right, I certainly have to play the game right now on the channel. And yeah, definitely making this a long one to pay homage to the game. And then I think the next video you'll see on this will hopefully be with TJ, and then we'll do another Let's Play. 3 miles away from me is Lena. That is how overpowered the AI could be in certain events at 400 plus. But to be in 3rd place with this dog of a car, not bad. But I mean, listen to this soundtrack. Woo! I still listen to this. I still listen to this. Definitely one of my favourite soundtracks in the entire series. Like, top 5 easily. Easily. Honestly, this game is top 5 easily. For me, it's top 3. You know? The only games better than this in the series for me is Carbon and Underground, I would say. Honestly, I don't hold Most Wanted that highly, 2005, because it had a lot of filler in it. I say I don't hold it too highly. It's clearly a legendary game. Let me make that very clear. But it had a lot of filler in the Blacklist. You did not have to have a Blacklist 15. You know, you did not have to have it. It could have been a Blacklist 10. It would have been a lot better. You know. I really loved Most Wanted 2012 as well. That game should have got a remaster 2 years ago, 100%. I would have preferred that over Unbound. Most Wanted 2012 had an incredible multiplayer and an incredible vibe about it as well. Like, yeah, it shouldn't have been called Most Wanted, but it was still a fire game, alright? One of my favourite racing games of all time, but I don't really class it as a Need for Speed game neither. You know, when I name my top 5 Need for Speeds, Most Wanted 2012 is very rarely breaching that top 5. Like, sometimes it really depends how I feel on the day. You know? Like, I would rather play Most Wanted 2005 over 2012 if we're talking story. But when it comes to gameplay and stuff like that, I think I'd rather play 2012. I mean, obviously when you get the police involved, that's a different story, but I don't know. I thought 2012 was really good. Flynn in the Ford GT is really going to try and steal this from me. Ain't no way. We got to concentrate to get that 3rd place. But yeah, those guys finished 3 to 2 miles ahead of me. That's insane. This is intense now. I really got to keep this. But yeah, we should probably keep going until we get a high heat event. Because in high heat events, you get a volatile part. Oh, it won't turn! No! Come back! Please! Oh, mate, that's speeding off now. But you can get them in the corners. Get out of my way! The Ford GT was awesome as well. Get out of my way! There we go. Just about managed to secure the 3rd place finish. We're going to go the other side here to see if we can get away from the police. If you go quick enough past them, they don't realise you're there. Well, they do. They turn the sirens off, but it won't start a pursuit. We've already got the high heat event unlocked. And there we go. He's got his sirens on. He's going to try and chase me. But he won't be able to get me. Right, I've got no idea where Cubit is. Cubit is a very rare high heat event to get. I've got no idea where it is. Oh! Oh god, he's still chasing me. Look at him on the map. Oh, he stopped now. There we go. Okay. Let's park here then and see if we can find that high heat event real quick. It's going to be... I think it's near Cloudbank, isn't it? Yep. Alright, somehow we gotta work our way there. and not get in trouble with the police. But I think I'll be fine with that. Police were pretty decent in this game, and are still pretty decent. But man, definitely miss how they were at launch. Ooh, that was close. I've only got one repair kit with this car. I haven't really equipped this car very well. But to be fair, I never really planned to do a high heat run with this. And I think once we reach that high, once we beat the high heat level 3 event, I think we'll instantly be at level 5, right? Sometimes that could happen. I don't know where the heat 5 event will be. But we got a few police to get away from here. Ooh, that was close. Whew. I absolutely love this game, guys. Honestly, one of my favourite games of all time. Probably my favourite game from the last generation, if I'm being quite honest with you. You know? Definitely on par with Red Dead Redemption 2, but because of like what games I prefer to play, Need for Speed Heat for me goes over Red Dead. I'm just a racing games guy, you know? Those always go first for me. So, Need for Speed Heat, easily my favourite game of the last generation. Absolutely. And I'm so glad it exists, because I'll be playing this game for years, coming back to it over and over again, that's for sure. Really don't mind that. We'll definitely play it again, play through it again on the channel before the next game comes out, that's for sure. We're already going to do 2015. I don't think I'll do Payback again. Maybe I will. We'll see. If yous do really well on 2015 and Heat, then, I mean, I don't see why not. And I might play through Rivals again as well. Are you serious?
Hey, someone's back for another round.
Right as I was there as well.
Snap back to reality. We got the hunt back up and running. Flip on the sirens and get after them.
Okay, I'm gonna go this way, see if I can escape. And then I'd have to go back there through off-road. I think they crashed into each other.
Lost eyes of the subject somehow.
Oh, come on, they don't see me.
This driver left me dead in the water.
And there's the
Driver's gotta
escape.
be nearby. Get looking.
Let's go off-road now. They won't see me here. But yeah, this is one of the best parts of Heat. And a very easy way to escape the police as well, was getting off-road. That's still the case in Unbound, to be honest. With Unbound, though, I actually really prefer the police system of that game. They did not nerf them. And there are multiple ways to deal with different types of police, which was always amazing. You know? So if there's anything that Unbound improved on versus Heat, it would be the police. But it ain't hard to improve on police that were absolutely nerfed, you know? But here we go. So, high heat events were new to this game, obviously. This whole day and night cycle, well, they got rid of the cycle and they made it day versus night. Really, really dope. But the whole point of this was you race for reputation. If you race enough and get a big enough heat, you're able to race in these special events for volatile parts, which were special parts above your level. So at first when you start the game, these would start as elite parts, you know? Because, and the good thing about the end game, at least to begin with, you're not going to have access to ultimate parts by the time you beat the story. You're just not, you know? You'll barely have access to elite parts. So at first it would be elite parts, up for grabs in volatile part events, then it would be Elite Plus, then Ultimate, and then Ultimate Plus. And I think, well, I don't actually know, it didn't say Ultimate Plus, it might just be Ultimate, but either way, I think it is Ultimate Plus, 100%. But either way, there was a nice sense of progression in all of the events. This one's a lot closer to my recommended level, so we should be able to win, even though Shaz is right there. Well, we got a lot of corners coming up. And look at how quick Shaz was then. We got to see if we could catch up to Brooksy. Oh my god. Come on.
I need to request backup on my position.
All other units are busy, so step it
Jesus,
up.
this car is a handful to drive. I will tell you that right now. Definitely not one of the best handling cars in this game, that's for sure. Yeah, right, we're definitely losing some drivers here, but I think you could still get a volatile part even if you don't win. But the chances of you getting it are kind of up in the air at that point. If you don't finish in the top 3, I think. Still in it, you know. Shaz isn't too far away. And I think there's still a chance we could catch up to Brooksy. Yep, there's Shaz. What? I thought that was Shaz. Apparently it wasn't. Turn your boat! Oh my god! I don't know if that was a rhino, but that was absolutely terrifying. Oh my, I don't think it was. It didn't look like it, but that was heading straight for me. That's another driver there. He must be part of someone else's race. Mate, look at how intense this is. Oh, they finished already. That's crazy. I mean, look at this, man. Look at the driving. And there it is. There's the volatile part. And we'll go off-road.
Looks like someone lost our target. Get in there and find that car.
Look at all those lights over there. You could actually go over there still, you know? It might look like you can't, but you can. But there you go. We're at Fairview Fields now, so Port Murphy is literally just down there. We are going to go to a safe house and wrap up this video, guys. But man, I miss this game. I really do. I miss what it was like to play this game when it first came out. I miss the couple of years afterwards that we were playing it.
I think it's getting tougher out there.
No, it's not. It's not getting tough at all, but there you go. And then you see your rep gain, and then obviously you get your heat multiplier as well, and that's multiplied by 4. And then of course we're already max level. We've got a total of 118 million reputation. I think that just goes to show you how much I played this game, and there are still people who have got way more than that.
You're gonna get your own place.
Don't listen to him.
You know, this game has got a hardcore fan base now that stuck with this game, that still plays this game to this day. For me, I did everything. I did absolutely everything that you could possibly do in this game, and so I have literally no reason to come back, unfortunately, you know, other than the odd revisit or the odd replay through of the story. But when it comes to the end game, building all the cars and stuff, I don't really have a reason to come back. I mean, I could do it all again. I think it's been a long enough time for me to feel like doing that. Mate, the top speed on this car is absolutely atrocious, by the way. Jesus. And then obviously there is our new Ultimate part. Yeah, so I think it's just Ultimate parts. It's not Ultimate Plus. I think you gain access to Ultimate Plus parts because you had the whole thing with the League, and you were able to access these higher value parts with higher rep. And then obviously you earn cash through day racing. Yeah, you earned the Ultimate Plus parts after earning your first Ultimate part. That is when you know, you get access to elite parts. So how to get elite parts, you need to unlock your first elite part. How to unlock ultimate parts, you need to unlock your first ultimate part, and you did that by doing high heat races. But guys, that was Need for Speed Heat 5 years later. Let me know if you guys still played this game. Let me know if you missed the times we had 5 years ago, 4 years ago when we used to play this game. And yeah, I'll see if I can get back at you soon with some more content on this. I'll definitely try to get TJ on it as well. And yeah, cheers guys for watching. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button as hard as you possibly can. Comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Where's my car? I forgot sometimes it took a while to load these cars. Come on. Where's my car? It's completely gone. Yeah, sometimes it would take them a while to actually full on like load these things up. But there you go, you got Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. You could get that for £26 now. So I wonder if you get it cheaper if you buy it through Heat. And then obviously you've got... There's not much stuff in the store. They didn't really add that much. But there you go. Cheers for watching, guys. Peace.